Together we are but first coffee. Susie's just our host, but what matters most is we are a team. Together we are all safe here, and so are you. Among friends and mods we are safe. We talk about trauma, break down drama of life, death, happy or sad, even mad. We discuss it all here. Together we will thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Together we fight cults or fight addictions. If not with experience, with love, and we don't judge. Please understand, this is a safe place to land. Please understand, you're not alone. This is a safe place to land. Together we thrive, not just survive. We will dry each other's tears, celebrate big or small wins, and chase away the fears. Because we are but first coffee, and Susie welcomes us all here. Together we are but first coffee, and Susie.
Hi, everybody. I'll back up. I told myself to get the stupid mic a while ago, and I didn't do it. I sat here and played with my bulldog for a minute and completely missed it. I was saying, John, if you want, you can come on stage if you want to. You don't have to. I didn't talk to you about it. Um, doesn't matter. So if you want to, anytime. That's always an open invitation. So either let me know or just pop yourself up there or whatever you want to do. Hey, Janet from another planet. Good to see you. I am going to check in with my chat a little bit before we get started. And I want to thank somebody. I got a gift from a late, I'm assuming it was a lady. It might be a man. The only name that it said was Pat. And they sent me some of the best biscotti cookies. I love them. And these have dark chocolate on them. And I'm not going to lie, it's been about a week and I've almost managed to eat half the box, and there was literally, like, I don't remember if it was 25 or 45 or something of these, like, they're like a long, really crispy, like a bread type deal, and it has almonds and dark chocolate, and yeah, I keep eating them. 'em. I'm staying away from the scale just in case. So, I do have another gift that I am gonna open on stage in a minute. I'm waiting for the person to get back from making a phone call, and then I will do that too. So, anyway, y'all don't have to send me things, but I'm like, it's so funny whenever Mark comes in and is like, "Oh, what'd you buy now?" And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, "I didn't buy anything. I have been really being good, not, just shopping, bored shopping." And so he'll bring in stuff, and then I love it when it was something I didn't buy. So ha ha. Yeah, I mean, it's really sweet, and I appreciate it. But again, you don't have to. Nobody has to send me anything, but it's just like everything else. I appreciate it. I appreciate just as much as I appreciate you just being here. It just makes me happy. So anyway, Goat Juice was here. I'm not sure if he is still here or not. I hadn't seen him saying anything else in the chat, but he might be. And if not, He'll pop back in later, I'm sure. It is always good to see him. Indigo, good to see you too. Yes. Ugh, I hit the wrong button. This topic is important for me as a DV survivor. I am keenly aware that I am lucky to be blessed with solid family, true friends, and a network that supported me once I left. Not everybody has that, and that is so, so true. Um, Not everybody does, and it is sad. And even when they do, sometimes it's not enough. And that's going to be what we talk about a little bit tonight as a case that it wasn't enough. So it's a sad case. Marilee is here. She's asking if Goot saw Heat's puppy, the pictures of Heat's puppy. I don't know if you all know, but Heat, my shorts, his best friend, his dog that he's had for years and years and years, passed away late this summer. And some family and friends have made it possible for him to get a little puppy to not replace his best friend, but, you know, give him another best friend. So, and I think it's beautiful. He was showing pictures. Of course, I fell in love with the little puppy because, it's a dog or a cat, and, I love them all, especially babies, right? So, yeah, if you haven't seen that, he does show pictures on his channel. You can go and look at those pictures, and I don't know if the puppy is with him yet, but it will be soon if it's not. Jan, thank you so much for being here. Jan is still absolutely a mod and absolutely shows up as a mod on my, back office, and absolutely does not have a wrench for some reason. So I am hoping that we can get that fixed very soon, but, yeah, so if anytime she wants to pop in the back and mod, she is welcome, even if John's back there too. We are just so crazy around here, we might need 2 of them back there. Not really. We're pretty tame, right? So far. So it is good to see you all. Let's see here. Yeah, that was just me saying hi to people. Darcy's good to see you. Lord Kiss Freak had to make a phone call to his daughter, but he will be back soon. He may be back already by now. Oh, yeah, not for a few more days. He sent me her latest picture. Oh, that's she was lovely. I think that he's going to be very happy, especially with the long, cold winter months coming up, so he won't be so lonely. So let's see here. Okay. Lord Kiss Freak says, "Be right back." Yeah. Oh, Marilee says that I'm smart, that I'm just not YouTube smart. I am not, y'all. I am not YouTube smart. I am not StreamYard smart. I can't figure out what the heck I'm doing most of the time. Anyway. Oh, let's see here. Oh, my phone's buzzing. I put it on silent, but I guess I forgot that it's still on vibrate. Okay, got to where you're saying no sound. I fixed that. Janet's here. John is here. He's in the Oh, Lord Kiss Freak says Harley is watching with us tonight. Okay. Oh, yes, Indigo, they are addictive. They truly are. John, I think I yeah, I put a picture in the mod chat. I'll have to post it in the whatever it's called. Like the community post. So, yeah, they are yummy, and it's like yeah, yeah, it's a hard kind of cookie. These kinda look like a really thin sliced, like, French bread or something, and that dark chocolate, and it's not so much that they're, like, overpowering. I think that what they're meant to be is, like, if you have it with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or something, I gobble them down. I have 2 every day. I just gobble them. I just love them. Yeah, biscotti dipped in mocha. Hey, Carrie. Good to see you. Goat is here. Good to see him. Lord Kiss Freak is back. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You may have to step out. I know how that bedtime routine goes. I truly do. Indigo says there was also a case out of Utah that drove me insane, the case of Lauren McCluskey. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Mhm. So, let's see here. I don't wanna miss anybody. Oh, hey, Amy's in the house. Good to see you too. Says hi everyone. Sorry I haven't been around lately. I'm super busy, but I am still here. Hope you are all well. Love you, Susie. I've been admiring all your pictures and stuff on Facebook. I mean, they have this absolutely beautiful family and they had such a great summer. It just looked like lots and lots of fun. Okay. Ben is here. It says bread. I miss bread and not the David Gates version. Boy, I am dating myself. Uh, what is this? Uh, Aaron got YouTube Foundation donation on page now. Oh, is it on his page? Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, Ben is gracing us with his presence. Uh, Y'all are just chit chatting away. I love that. That would be funny, Ben. He says, "Today I paged myself on the intercom and I didn't bother to disguise my voice." Oh my goodness. Yeah, did you answer? Did you answer yourself? That's what we need to know. In cure or in what is the word I'm looking for? Inquiring minds want to know. So, anyway, I am going to open this gift. Now, seriously, um, Lord Kisbrick, if this is not the one that you sent me, it's one that I don't remember. I mean, I don't remember the package. So, if this isn't it, let me know because it might be at my dad's. But I think this one's it. It arrived the day that you said that it was arriving. So just, don't feel bad about being like, "No, I didn't do that one," and then I'll go to my dad's in the morning and get the one that you did. But anyway, this did come for me in a pretty little pink bag, and I'm gonna open it. Aw, hold on. It's in another bag. Okay, I'm about to get it out of here. Aw, how cute. It's a t-shirt, and it says, "But first coffee." Thank you. I love that. And again, if this is not the right gift, let me know because it's probably at my dad. Yeah, gift time with Susie. But yeah, I love it. I do. And of course, I love this really muted pink color. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, look at the little pumpkin on the cup. I know. Isn't that so cute? Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey, I don't know how to pronounce that. Archon P. Good to see you. Good to see Linda Scott. I'm always glad to see everybody. Um, I am going to go ahead and get started though, because this is a not a long one, but I'm ready to get it started, and it's a hard one. Um, Before we dive into tonight's live, I do want to tell everybody that As it says on the little ticker on the bottom, we are, uh, having viewer discretion, trigger warning, whatever you wanna call it. I hate the whole trigger warning thing. I'm like, we can't say what you would, you know, pull a trigger on, but we can say it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So, anyway, viewer discretion, always take care of yourself. Always, always, always. But this is an important topic. So, oh, that's your daughter, Harley. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Harley, good to see you, girl. And I'm going to get your box mailed off pretty soon. It is just about full. It's not a big box. It's about the size. Well, my tennis shoes came in it. So it's the size of tennis shoes. This is, the tennis shoe box. So anyway, so before we get started, again, we we're going to be dealing with a very specific case of DV, and it's one that I know personally. I know the young lady. I knew her husband. I know the family. I know it's been years, but I do know all of them, and I'm gonna do this as gently as I can, but I also want to cover enough of the actual facts that it honors her memory because she did die. And anyway, her family said that her greatest wish would be that her story would help somebody else. So that's what we're hoping for tonight. I covered this years ago in the newspaper, and this is the first time that I have spoke publicly about it since 2008. And it's not my story. I'm just emotional about it. So, you know. Anyway, but just remember discretion is advised. This is not a show for children, which none of them are. I put that on my deal. But and if I chuckle, it is nerves because there's absolutely nothing funny about this story. But those of you that know me know that I tend to laugh at inappropriate times just because I get nervous. And it's like it stops me from crying, I guess. I don't know. So, all right, I'm gonna get started. So, every 9 seconds in the United States, a woman is assaulted or beaten by someone that she loves. And that means that in the time that it takes me to finish this sentence, that someone's life has been absolutely shattered behind closed doors. And y'all, I've got my notes because there's no way that I'll stay where I need to be if I don't have my notes. So you will see me referring to them a lot. Um, Domestic violence is not just bruises, it's not just broken bones, it's control and fear and financial traps and emotional scars, and it's silence it eats away at a person's soul. It's also broken promises because when it's a domestic situation, that is somebody that is supposed to love and protect you. And we are going to cover some this month because it is domestic violence um, month. And we're going to cover the fact that this happens to men too. Tonight, I'm just talking about a specific case, but we will be covering several aspects of this. And I'm going to try to do it with real stories, not just numbers. Here is the stone cold truth, y'all. It doesn't just happen to other people. It happens to our neighbors, to our coworkers, to our loved ones and friends. And the statistics say that it's happening to somebody that's watching this video right now. More than one somebody, actually, depending on the views anyway. It happens to you, it happens to me, it happens to us, it happens to all of us. Not literally, but it happens. Again, I want to say that there is a content warning on here, and please do just always take care of yourself first. That's what's important, not just watching this video. This video is a personal one for me. The subject of domestic violence is personal to a lot of us. It's personal to me. It's personal to my daughter. It's personal to several of my friends. But this isn't my story. It's a story that I lived in real time because of friendships that I had. It's a story that I was honored to be chosen by the family to tell when we had our newspaper. It's a story that I actually won an award for how I told it. It's a story that I will never forget, can never forget it. And I absolutely took no joy in winning the award other than the fact that I knew that by winning the award that it got out to even more people. So more people heard the story is what I'm trying to say. Not like more people knew I won an award. That has never meant anything really to me. I am going to tell you the story of Joy Ramage, a 25-year-old mother of a then 5-year-old son and a 4-year-old daughter. I'm going to show you her picture. This was taken not long before her death. Um, Joy came from a very poor family, kind of a rough upbringing. The family had a lot of brushes with the law and stuff. That's how I actually came to know them to begin with, was because I would have to cover certain members of the family's crimes or court appearances or whatever. It was never anything horrific, just a lot of petty crime, drug type things, like so many, you know? And it is sad how drugs in well, in every country, but I can only really speak for here, how it makes people do things that they wouldn't normally do, and it tears families apart. I had honestly had never heard of her doing anything bad. I had never heard of anything other than that she just loved her kids, that was a proud mama. She had had her son in a previous relationship, and then she married a man named Arthur Swagger, and they had their daughter. I don't remember the son's father being in the picture. I have racked my brain, and I know who he is, but I can't remember him being in the picture. When I met Joy, she was actually divorcing Arthur, and there were whispers that it was because of domestic violence, but she really didn't talk about it. She, she really didn't say anything bad about him. I only knew her because she applied for a job, with me, and I sadly didn't need anybody right then, and, you know, I would have hired her if I had needed anybody, but, I mean, I was a tiny little business too. It was for the tea room, and I couldn't afford to hire anybody else, anybody new. Um, she never mentioned any kind of domestic issues with me, but, I mean, she wouldn't. I mean, we talked and stuff, but we weren't, like, close friends by any stretch. I mean, I knew her much like anybody that's in a small town knows each other. You know each other, you're like, "Hey, how you doing?" If you see each other, that kinda thing, and it was about it. I mean, she was 25 and I was, gosh, in my late 30s, early 40s. I was in my 40s, I think, and, anyway, I liked her. I'll just put it that way, and I'm telling this part of the story to lead into the main story because I want her to be a real person to you. She was a mom. She was a sister, a daughter, an aunt, a friend, and although it is so important to remember what happened to her, that's not all she was, and that's not what the family wanted. I was kind of close to one of her sisters, and so that's how I got chosen to tell the story. Um, you know, it the sister was closer to my age. She's still younger than me, but she was a little closer. Anyway, so Arthur, he was well known in the area too. He seemed nice when I met him. Um, he worked for an oil tank building company in the town that they lived in, and he often traveled with his work, out of state or wherever to different refineries or tank farms, as they call them, to build or repair tanks. Those great big oil tanks that we see. And he would come home with pockets full of money and pockets full of promises and try to convince her that he had changed. This is after they had divorced. And Joy was struggling, she was a single mom. She was like not highly educated. She, graduated and all that, but she had no college degree. The town was not, just full of jobs. It was a teeny tiny little town that it didn't I don't even no, it doesn't even have a stoplight. And, you know, it just she struggled. She had 2 children that she was trying to get to school age. Her little boy was getting ready to start kindergarten the next year, and her little girl was gonna be in preschool, and she was just trying to get by another year or 2 to where they would be in school all day and she could maybe get a more full-time job because childcare is not only hard to find, but it's expensive. And, her family loved her, but there was only so much they could do, and they didn't all live right there, and the ones that did weren't really doing that great, honestly. They loved each other, but they all had their own struggles. And she loved Arthur, and she believed his promises eventually. And I don't know. I had always heard that he was a decent sort of guy. I mean, I heard the whispers, but she didn't seem to like really back those up, not blaming her at all. It was because she's so private. She was just a very private person and she just wouldn't have done it, but, she went back to him. So, that's where we're gonna start our tale of what happened then. This is kind of that moment where Keith Morrison, would be like, "They all seemed like a happy family," and it'd be like, "But were they?" That kind of thing. And, not too long after they reconciled, I don't remember exactly, um, how long it was into it, but, not too long after they reconciled, the family traveled to Lubbock, Texas for his work, and they found a room at a little Motel 6, you know, even though he worked on a tank farm and I say he'd come home with pockets full of money, I should clarify that for what they were used to. He didn't make wages that were making them wealthy by any means. And when they didn't travel, he didn't make as much money, but when he did travel, he had more expenses and. So, but anyway, so they were staying in this little kind of a rough neighborhood in a Motel 6. And one of the details that I cannot remember at all is how long they were there before that night happened, but it wasn't long. On the night of June 1st of 2008, for reasons that no one knows and he has not said, he brutally attacked her. I will spare you the goriest of the details, and I will spare you the photographs that her sister gave me of her battered and broken body and what was left of her face. With her 2 babies present, Arthur first slammed her face into the sink in the bathroom. It rendered her unconscious, is what the kid said. She was asleep in the floor, bleeding. Apparently, she woke up at some point after that, and she thought he was asleep, and she made a grab for the phone to call for help. I wish she'd just left, but she, tried for the phone instead. And he apparently was not asleep, and he grabbed the phone away from her and he beat her with it multiple, multiple times in the face. He battered her body. He kicked her, you know, until she no longer fought and no longer looked human. Her 5-year-old son tried to defend his mommy, and he sustained a black eye and some other injuries. Um, no broken bones, but some injuries in that struggle trying to protect his mommy. So she was actually still alive and clinging to life, and apparently Arthur thought that he thought she was dead. And when he did think that he did her one last indignity, and he sexually assaulted her in the presence of her children. She was alive, but he thought she wasn't. He then waited several hours with the kids crying, and they eventually went to sleep. Um, In the morning hours of June 2nd of 2008, he called the authorities, and they found him sitting outside the room, covered in blood, and the room looking like the horrific scene that it was. 2 babies, 5 and 4, still trying to protect their mommy, were holding mommy and crying and begging her to wake up. She was unresponsive when the paramedics got there and they took her to the hospital, and she was placed on life support while doctors ran every test that they could run and tried to assess her wounds and tried to save her life. The children were placed in protective custody, and her family came from Oklahoma and California and other places to be at her bedside. On June 7th of 2008, she was found to be brain dead, and the family removed her life support at 2:20 p.m. And that's when the shy, funny, very artistic mom of 2 little babies died at the age of 25 at the hands of somebody that promised to love her. Arthur, was, of course, taken into custody. He pled guilty to her death and to the assault of the 5-year-old. I said that was honestly him pleading guilty was the only credit I would ever give him. I mean, it was obvious he would have been found guilty anyway. I think he did it to avoid the death penalty. Texas is pretty quick to do that, and I think that he did it as a plea bargain to save his miserable life. He did receive life without parole. What got me was he only received 6 years for the assault on the little boy. I mean, yeah, his little black eye healed. I think he should have gotten 3 death sentences because he killed a part of those babies that day too. To the best of my knowledge, he is still sitting, rotting his nasty ass away in a Texas prison where I've been told that he is not exactly popular with the other inmates. The children, now young adults, were placed in foster care because none of Joy's family was really in a good they weren't good candidates to raise the children. We did check into, personally, um, fostering, even potentially adopting the children, but we were denied because the state of Oklahoma did not want the children returned to the area where their family lived. And I hope that they were right. I kind of think they were, but that's my opinion. I last heard that they were doing well. The reason that I told this story is that I can quote statistics all day, and those are important. They are absolutely important. Oh, before I forget, I do want to show his picture. That's him. I am too, Marilee. I am too. Yeah, and it could still happen. Um, Again, her picture. She just looks like a girl next door, right? But anyway, those statistics are important. I will never say they're not. But as humans, we often identify more if we are faced with a person, with a human, that we can look at their picture, that we can know their story, that we can know that she made good grades, that she was a basketball player and a cheerleader in high school. She had dreams and hopes, and at 25, she was still a baby herself. And sadly, y'all, there are so many other Joy Ramages in this world. Indigo, you could have been one. And yes, leaving is statistically the most dangerous time for the survivor. And I don't know if she threatened to leave. We don't know because she's not here to tell us, and he hasn't. I know many people that have been abused. I know many people in this community that have been abused. Even what they say, what is it, red rum, which is, you know, spelled backwards. Just move it the other way. But I didn't know how I wanted to do this month of these stories, and I had somebody that very unceremonious unceremoniously um, pointed out to me that I am not qualified to help anybody with mental health or addiction or DV or basically to cross the road, and I have never pretended to be qualified to do any of that, but I am qualified to care. I am qualified to share stories that might save someone's life. I am qualified to share information about how to get help or how to help someone else that you love or care about or heard about or whatever. We personally in our marriage, we donate to DV shelters, both money and clothing, toiletries, even books. I mean, you know, feminine products, the whole bit, diapers. I mean, all of it. That and homeless shelters. And y'all, the thing is that a lot of times these homeless shelters, they are hidden in plain sight. It can look like it's just somebody's home. They don't generally put 30 women in it. They'll put 4 or 5, and the neighbors are very secretive, and it is amazing the work that they do. And so if you don't know of a domestic violence shelter, talk to your police. They might not tell you, but they might tell you ways that you can help, whether it be to volunteer or to donate something. I mean, my goodness, band-aids, anything like that, anything that you use in your life, they leave with generally nothing. I volunteered at one in Tulsa. It was years ago. Um, I did haircuts and makeup tips to help them, like if they were trying to get a job or if they were going to go back to school or doing haircuts for their kids that were going to go back to their school. Um, with help from friends and family, we supplied, I think it was 24 backpacks full of school supplies to different locations, not just that one. There weren't that many there. Um, we had gift cards, quilts. The church made quilts. There's just it's so easy to help when people have nothing. these women, they were amazing, and they came from all walks of life and income brackets, and they were just trying to stay safe and navigate the court systems and all that, they were just trying to stay safe. Some of them didn't have family here. I mean, like, in Oklahoma, I mean, maybe they had family in other states or something. Some of them didn't want their family to know. It some of them were there long enough to get family was coming to get them, that kind of thing. There's for every person that's in one of these shelters, there's a story, and they're all different, and they're so brave. I did have to go through a huge security check. I have been through some security checks in my life, y'all. I had to go through a big one, when we, got our son as a foreign exchange student. The German government had to approve us, and then we had to do it with this, and I had to do it whenever I volunteered at Camp Gruber when, uh, Hurricane Katrina hit. But anyway, I did have an in, I will say that. I have a friend that is an anchor on a Tulsa television station, and, so she was able to get me an in with this. Actually, they asked for for me, and she got me the information. They had seen the, report whenever I had done things at Camp Gruber, and so they specifically the not the women, but the shelter specifically asked to be put in touch with me, and, I did, and no, she nor I covered the story. I didn't it was not an attention-getting story, it was a help story. So I can just hear, you know, some people already, "Oh, she did it for the glory." No, I didn't. I didn't cover it in the paper. I She didn't cover it on the TV channel. Her job was probably mad if they found out, but, you know, it was private, but she did help me to gain access. That was where she helped. She helped me gain access to Camp Gruber. We did cover that one in the paper and on TV, in 2005. So, back then we did like 2000 or 2,200 haircuts, and I did a bunch of manicures and pedicures, and a mess. It was a mess. Took clothes and quilts and everything then too. So anyway, again, they requested me. I didn't horn in and try to get attention. And why I say all of that is that you don't have to be qualified to care. You don't have to be qualified to help. You just you just have to jump in and do it and believe people. If you hear whispers of domestic violence, listen. Talk to them when you can. Keep your eyes and ears open. It goes for so many different things. When we covered, self unaliving month, it was the same thing. If you hear something, say something. If you hear something, do something, kind of thing. We can maybe save a life. One way that all of you could actually to not save a life necessarily, but help is like and share this video. I don't ask for that kind of stuff very often. I don't ask to promote things very often, but comment in the chat, comment in the comments after the video on the replay. All of that, what it does is it gets the video out to more people, and maybe one person that needs to see this video that will learn something from Joy's death, murder. Maybe they'll see it if we can get this video out more. I am going to answer any comments that are made on the replay, just because It's just more engagement, and it just puts it out to more people. And I honestly, it's not about views. Well, it is because it's about I want people to see it and hear what happens. But anyway, we can listen if somebody needs help. But if you are in danger, please, I am begging you, get out at the first safe opportunity. Get out and protect yourself. And if you've got children, protect those children. I know it's hard. I know. And I'll tell that story someday. But, you know, Joy, she didn't believe that her husband would kill her. She thought she could fix him. She thought that she could handle a few bruises. But the sad fact is that it always gets worse. Always. It might take months and even years for it to get to the point that it got with Joy. But it might just happen with the flip of a switch. A wrong word said, a look, and it can go from a few bruises to beaten beyond recognition in the blink of an eye. And I will never not be able to see those pictures in my mind's eye. They are on every computer I own, and I revisit them every June 7th, which happens to be my birthday. So it makes it really easy to remember the exact date of her death. I can't stress enough, if you are a victim, please get help. You're and I want you to remember, I want you to count to 9 with me, okay? I'm gonna do it out loud. I want you can do it out loud or in your head, whatever you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You remember at the beginning that I said that every 9 seconds a woman in the US is assaulted or beaten by someone that loves or somebody they love? They don't the person doesn't love them, but they love that person. They trusted that person. And it doesn't stop with one 9-second count. This happens 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that's just in the US. I'm going to show some numbers on the screen, some information on the screen. I am also going to put that, it already is in the posts on my channel. There's phone numbers and websites. Now, this is just the US information, but it's there. And I'm begging you all, please, we got to take this serious. We got to get those words out about this. And I just want to remind you that nobody has to be qualified to help. You just got to care. And I know that everyone in this audience, everybody watching this video, I know you all care. And I know some of you know exactly what Joy's family went through, her poor children. And if you want to tell your story, get a hold of me. Um, I would love to have people on to tell their stories, just because I really truly believe that if we see that as a person, that we will it's more personal if we connect it with a person. I really believe that. I think it's human nature. I will be covering this throughout the month. I will also be covering it's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I will be covering that too, but this one is so very important. So I thank you all for being here and watching. I am going to check the starred comments and then, hey, Misha. Yeah, Indigo, I would love to talk to you again. Anybody, anybody, honestly. Oops. Yeah. Indigo says, I have a dark sense of humor about my DV past. It makes sense. It's a defense mechanism when dealing with a difficult topic. I agree. A lot of us do that. I absolutely, whoops, agree with that. I don't know. I sit crooked and then I'm not in the right place to click the right buttons. Yeah, Marilee, you are absolutely right. And again, we are going to cover that. When I was telling Mark about this, I said every 9 seconds in this country, a woman is attacked, and he goes, well, what about men? And I'm like, we're going to cover that too. But I had to get this one out there. It's just, I absolutely know, I absolutely have seen the reverse as well. Mayor, I really have. It's awful. Indigo says, "Man, the gaslighting really messed me up the moment the rug got pulled, then the love bombing. I'm sorry, I'll change, respite." Yeah. And then bam, back to the manipulation and pressure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Indigo says, "Merrily, yes, exactly. 1 in 4 men have experienced." Yeah. And I and 1 in 3 experience domestic violence in the home. That is too many. That is it's too many. Leaving is statistically the most dangerous time for the survivor, and survivors go back a minimum of 7 times. And that's a minimum, y'all, before being able to fully disconnect. Mhm. That's right, John. We aren't trying to diagnose, only to shed a light on those horrors and create a safe place for those who want to talk. Absolutely. I would never pretend to be qualified to diagnose anything, but I am sure qualified to care and try to provide a safe place. I do believe that they were, from everything that I have heard, Jan, the children went on to have um, really a great experience from what I've heard. Now, you know, um, they have had some contact with their family since reaching adulthood. But by then, they've got lives and families and everything. But yeah, I mean, this was 2008. But yeah, I have heard good things. I don't know, but I have heard good things. There are also shelters like Wings in Chicago that doesn't like a physical address online or in court documents, so you can maintain autonomy. Yeah, autonomy. Sorry, I can't even talk. And safety while you escape. Yeah, that's how this is here in Tulsa. Um they don't publicize the addresses. It was a big deal. I First of all, I had to be approved. I had to go through a background check, and I did not get the address until the day of. Now, once I had it, if I was a horrible person, I could have passed that to others. I would never have done that, and I did burn the address. It was on, that I because I wrote it down on a slip of paper, and I did burn it when I was, done, you know, so not I mean, it was kind of just a it was just for me, just knowing I had done it. So, anyway, let's see here. Yes, Marilee is right. She says, "John, exactly, because this is a safe space. It absolutely is." Jersey says, "When I moved out of state years ago, I got rid of a lot of stuff. I dropped it off with the police officer who brought it to a woman's shelter." Yeah. You can still do that kind of thing. I still do that. That's right, Ben. You don't have to be qualified to help someone in any way you can. Absolutely. Just have to be qualified to diagnose, and I would never dream of that. Other than I have diagnosed some people as being assholes. I have done that. Or vile, vile trolls. But it's, not necessarily a clinical diagnosis. Uh, yeah, absolutely, John. We say it a lot here, but kindness really is free, y'all. You like how all my mods say y'all now? Misha says, "If there is any hope, it cannot be changed. If you are still in the situation, it has to be them working on themselves, and you can't change things for them. I promise that." You are 100% right, my beautiful friend. Yes, share this video with anybody that needs to see it. Again, I want it to be out there for people that need it. Aw, she had to get ready for bed. Yeah. Marilee says, "The DV shelters in my city don't have addresses posted." Yeah, absolutely, or phone numbers or anything. This just looked like a house, and I'm telling you, the people in the community, in their little, you know, housing area, like a little one of it wasn't a cul-de-sac, but it was in, like, a little, housing community. It looked like honestly, it looked like people that had lived there for their for years and years and years, had raised their families there and stuff, and it was lovely. It was absolutely lovely, until you got there, and I mean, there was a lot of locks on the doors and the windows, and it it was so sad that they have to be that guarded, and yet it was amazing watching them. And those women, they made, like, little families amongst themselves, and they took care of each other. It was amazing. And some they said women would be there, just long enough for family to get them. And then others would be there long enough to, get themselves set up, with somewhere to work, somewhere to live. And I'm sure it kind of just depends on everybody's situation. But it was amazing to see. It really was. It was one of those situations that I wished that I could have covered in the paper because it was so and I could have. I was not told not to. But, I chose not to because it was just it needed to be well, at the time that I covered it, it was all too raw, and, this was it was after the Katrina deal, and then it was also after Joy, and yeah. Oops, sorry. I actually took a truckload to a local shelter after vetted my information. Yeah, yeah. Misha says, right now our world is in such turmoil, even the shelters are suffering big time. Any help offered, I am sure, will be doubly appreciated. Never just assume someone doesn't want help because I guess there's another part to it. Oh, you don't have a camera in mic. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying I still didn't, and I'm like, but people are answering me. Yeah. But yeah, Misha, absolutely. Just because they don't ask doesn't mean that they don't need help or want help. And we just need to be a big old community and help each other. That's what we got to do. And anyway, I really do appreciate you all being here. I keep hitting the wrong button. Aw. Yeah, give her a hug for me too, Chris. Honestly, give her a hug for me too. So, anyway, guys, I think that's going to be it for tonight. We're just a little bit over an hour, and Mark is home, and I need to go home. Oh, I went to the eye doctor. I'll tell you this before I go. I did go to the eye surgeon yesterday, and he said that my eyes are so bad that glasses would not really help. Um, so he too recommended surgery, and I have a follow up appointment next Wednesday. I'm supposed to do these eye drops because I have dry eye, and he wants to um, get that fixed or helped a little bit before surgery, and so I'm going to do that. And I was so frustrated. I told my mods this, my insurance, if I just had my cataracts removed, which would help my eyesight, but I would still need vision. I'd still need glasses, both up close and far off. Um, and my eyes would continue to deteriorate. That word did not come out right, but you know what I mean. So anyway, my insurance will pay 100%. And oh, did you? You saw Mark in the background near the beginning of the video. I don't doubt it. I heard him come in. Yeah, I will. I think it will. I will absolutely be showing it off. So, but anyway, yeah. If I just did that, they'd pay 100%. If I do any kind of add-on where I actually fix my vision, fix my astigmatism, which is horrible, and fix whatever it is that causes me to have such horrible glare, which he said that he agreed was horrible, that, they tested for that too. And like, I literally could not see anything in the glare. Um, they won't pay a dime, not one dime. So, yeah, Mark is doing some shifting of funds around because it's going to cost me $7,600, and I'm supposed to have that in a week because I have to pay for it before surgery, a week before surgery. So I'm supposed to have that next week when I go in. We will. It just takes some finagling. Not everybody, including us, has that kind of money just laying around. Yeah, the obstacles and the red tape. I know. I mean, I don't understand why they wouldn't at least pay for just the cataract part of it if I got add-ons, and then the rest of it be up to me, but they won't. And the lady in the financial office said that that is with the case with most um, insurances. She was actually kind of surprised that my insurance would pay 100% if I just had the cataract surgery, and it's not cost effective to have just that and then go back later and do anything else. because it just isn't. I would basically still be out $7,600. So anyway, wow, it was over. Oh wow, John's was over $10,000 with insurance. Wow, yeah, we're a little cheaper. It's a little cheaper here in Oklahoma. So yeah, but that's what I found out on that. I told y'all that I would keep you, in the know on that. So yeah. Anyway, so I want to thank you guys again, and I will see you guys tomorrow. It was great being here. Just a tough situation. I think I'm gonna go have me a little cry and then watch a sappy movie. So remember, go comment in that comment section, and click the like and and share with anybody that needs it. Thank you. Oh, do I like tea or just coffee? Both equally. Absolutely, equally. So, yeah. One of these days we need to have just a question and answer deal where I can you can just ask me questions, about anything, and I can ask you guys questions about anything. I think that'd be fun. We need to do that. I think that would be fun. Lord knows that after this month we might need some fun. Oh, The Ultimate Gift, James Garner, another Okie, great movie and free on the tubes right now. I love James Garner anyway. He's like, I don't know. Yeah. I he's like one of my like crushes, that I've had for years and years since I was like probably 13, 14 years old. So yeah. I've started watching Christmas movies too. I watched a bunch in July, for the whole Christmas in July thing. But I still watch some, and I will rewatch them again, or, they'll come out with new ones when it's actually Christmas, so I'm trying to, you know, watch all of them that I've seen before and get that all done, and then I'll be ready for new ones whenever Christmas rolls around. Yes. Yeah, his real name is James Bumgarner, and I know some people by that name here in Oklahoma, so I've always wondered. I It's weird because I know people their last name is Bumgarner, and I know people that their last name is Bumgarden. And I mean, that's an odd, I think, coincidence, but yeah, I know both. But yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna go. Thank you again for being here, and I will see you all tomorrow. You have a great rest of your night or day, whatever time you're watching this. I love you guys. I truly, truly do. And I will see you soon.
Hope you enjoyed the show, so glad you were here. We meet here most days, we're but first coffee and you're welcome here. We talk about hard subjects, but we also laugh a lot. If you have a loss or win, we will cheer for you. We're but first coffee and you are safe here. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't wanna miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all. You don't wanna miss a show, because this is your home to y'all. So hit those like and subscribe buttons, notifications set to all.